All right, hey everybody. This is Mike the Piper, and this is the very first video in a series of one-shots I'm creating called the Ironhead Chronicles. With me are three pretty awesome individuals who are going to be traversing this homebrew world. And, well, I got to say, thanks to all of you who are coming out, or whenever the hell you feel like watching this. So not nothing in particular. So with me we've got Nelson, Josh, and Mike. And we're going to start with going left to right. Nelson, if you'd like to.
Yep. Well, as introduced, my name is Nelson. Your totally immersed power gamer, and I have YouTube, Facebook group, and Twitter all by the name Infinite Roleplay. I also have a drive-through RPG store where basically you can get map packs for free under pay what you like, or support me, or do whatever. And I do a bunch of roleplay and artistic related stuff on my channel. And today I'll be having some fun.
Right on. Thanks a lot. So, next up, Josh.
Hello YouTube, I am Josh the Smoking RP Gamer. I make all kinds of videos where I go into angry rants on YouTube. All you gotta do to find me is check out the Smoking RP Gamer. Tonight I will be playing Elgath Eagle Eye. That name, I can't even pronounce. Jesus. I can't even pronounce that. That's bad. Anyway, he is a Goliath Warlock, and he will be really fun to play. And apparently there's something on my TV behind me which I am not watching, but, enjoy. So I'll kick it back over to Mike.
Thanks, Josh. And finally, last but certainly not least, Mike. Tell us a little about yourself and your character.
Okay, hello. I am very humbly amazing, Mike Monroe. This is the first time I played with these guys. I've been playing D&D since 3.5. Dabbled in 4. It sucked. Been playing 5 now. I don't have all the cool stores and shops right now as everybody else, but I am working on getting a podcast. Hopefully, it should be up and running by the end of the month. We're working out the kinks right now. My character right now is Gyrus, but you can call it Gayrus. See, I can't even pronounce it either. It's all right. Everybody calls him Russ. Temple Ben, he's a Elven Ranger, uses a rifle, not a bow, and ready to shoot people in the face.
Because, hey, every elf needs a hobby.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Oh, he does play chess, too, so he plays chess and shoots people in the face.
Very, very cool. So, we are actually, just as an aside to those watching, we are waiting for a fourth player, so hopefully that person will show up. So, Nestor, if you are watching and you're trying to get in, by all means, we'll keep it open as long as possible, and I'll just RP you in. All right? So, without further ado, the three of you have been through so much. From the waves crashing against the ship as it seems to almost be moving backwards back to home, and that distant shoreline coming into view. The whole city of Castor is up in arms, cheering as you lads are coming off the ship. Newspapers have been torn to pieces and thrown as makeshift confetti. Children run up to soldiers throwing flowers and hugs. The atmosphere is one of just incredible joy and happiness. And unfortunately, for those of you who have survived, and for those of you who have hit the worst of the war, it almost seems a distant feeling. But as any long trip needs a good stiff drink. The four of you have been sitting in the Ivory Club, a swinging little jazz joint, probably about 200 plus people, sitting around, and as soon as you sat in there, drinks have been poured all around. And I'll leave it up to you guys to talk it out.
Hmm. Well, I think the best thing I'd need to do is because with me being a fan of jazz that I am, I think I made a call ahead of time, and I made sure that we had a table up front and center in the club, right in front of the right center stage. Had a reserve sign for us. Already had stuff on the table waiting for us.
Bottle service, that's quite impressive.
I do what I can. You know, this is my hometown after all.
Yeah, sitting at that table, you would see a fairly an uncharacteristically thin, lithe half orc, still dressed in his military uniform, his hat on the table, and in amongst the glasses of liquor and bottles. He's got his head tilted back, sitting deep in his chair, just chugging away at whatever drink happens to fill his glass. He'll slam the glass down once it's empty. And at the very moment the glass slams down, he flashes back, hearing large explosions of fireballs and gunfire. In this imagery, he's just standing there, staring up at the sky. The clouds are growing dark, lightning starts striking, rain is falling. He shakes his head, he's back at the table, pours himself another glass, starts swirling the glass around, and the liquor in the glass begins to turn red. And he falls back into his own mind again, seeing the red rivers in the trenches, himself and his compatriots standing there, bodies littering the trench itself. Knocks back the second drink, slams it down, flashes back to the parade, confetti falling. Looking at the confetti hitting the ground, all he can hear are the empty bullet casings of endless rifle fire. Pours himself another drink, slams that one back as well. Hits that to the table, looks at his buddies, just smiles.
Sorry. Next to the Leith Orc, you'll see a massive 8'1" Goliath. His head is clean shaven, and he's wearing his, military uniform, which is seen in the picture. His hat is also on the table. he's he's holding a pint of dark liquor that almost looks small in his massive hand, and he's drinking with this like far off look in his eyes. And he keeps flashing back to the landing on the beach at the start of the war, and how he had to hunker down in the boat that wasn't built for his size, almost laying on the floor as the pang of bullets slamming into metal echoed all around him. As the ship hit the beach, and the front of the landing craft fell open, and the soldiers surged forth, he remembers the feeling of the Tommy gun, well, his version of a Tommy gun, appearing in his hand as he began to fire back. And men just being shot down, ripped apart all around him as fireballs and bullets slammed into them, slamming into the beach. Large explosions. He was miraculously somehow not hit and actually made it to the cliff. Then we go back to the bar where he kind of shakes his head, forcing the visions of the thing out, and looks at the Leith Orc. You're one ugly bastard. You always remind me of the shit.
as the jazz music just fills your ears, and the group of people that are all around are drinking, dancing, excuse me, having a good time. You see an elf walking towards your table. He's medium height for an elf, dark brown hair, very lithe, and he comes over, kind of tips his fedora a bit, and looks at the three of you. Gentlemen, Ironheads, it's an absolute pleasure that the three of you have come back to us, especially in one piece. I hope that everything here is to your liking. If there's anything you need, anything at all, do please let me know. Please understand, though, now that you've returned, there is currently a prohibition on magic. I should ask that you refrain from any sort of magic usage inside this establishment while you're here. Also, your firearms. We would ask that you not discharge them inside the club. If you wish to use melee weapons, if there's any problem, please feel free, but you understand, of course.
What was his name again?
He didn't introduce himself.
Okay. This would have been okay. I would have gone up to him and said, you've treated me and my family well over the years, and anything you ask of, obviously, I will heed your things that you ask of, and you have nothing to worry about. Anyone at this table will, do as you ask with no questions.
Your family. Forgive me. Have we met? I'm afraid I don't quite understand what you're talking about.
The last name may not be familiar. Just for safety's sake, I used my mother's maiden name. But what I did do is I came up to the gentleman and I whispered in his ear about what my mother's maiden married name is, just so he knew.
Ah, of course. Well, then, allow me to welcome you, sir, especially. We are definitely very happy that you're not, that you will respect our mutual beneficiary. Forgive me, gentlemen, my name is Malno. I am the owner, well, the operator of this establishment, and if there's anything you need, I am at your disposal.
Yeah, no. Why don't you have one of them there women in those fancy dresses bring me a pack of cigarettes? I'm almost out.
Yes, of course. Cigarettes or cigars? We have some phenomenal Dragonborn cigars.
Sure, I'll take one of those.
Certainly.
I turn to him. Yeah, you could butt me too.
All right. So he kind of waves over a young girl with a tray, and she kind of hops over and passes out. Pretty much takes almost the entire scoop of cigars and just places them down on the table. Please enjoy. And the young lady kind of smiles and nods, and she kind of totters off to get some more drinks for you. As you're sitting there enjoying yourself, a slight commotion, like that, a slight commotion seems to kind of jar your concentration, and you see 6 dwarves kind of pop through and kind of push a few people out of the way. He points at Malno, one of the dwarves, and just gives him the old "come hither" finger. From your vantage point, you can see what happens, but you cannot necessarily hear. You hear the dwarf, or correction, you see the dwarf kind of animatedly moving his hands around and seems to be yelling at him and pointing at him, and looks like he's giving him shit or something. And the elf is kind of giving it just right back to him.
Almost, in joking with the dwarves and their stature, I lean over and elbow. I elbow Tully. Hey, Tully, watch. I stand up with a full glass, raise it into the air, and just holler out as loud as I could, "To the Alliance!"
And everyone in the entire bar, everyone in the club, just like throws up their glasses and screams, "To the Alliance! To the Alliance!" And they shoot it back, and it just totally jars the dwarves. And the dwarves kind of look around, and they kind of notice you, or at least one of them, the one notices you. He has a kind of a grayish beard and a couple of face tattoos of what looks like dwarven ruins. And he comes walking towards you, or kind of just like angrily stomping towards you, pushing a couple of people out of the way, and he kind of looks up to you. "Oi! You got something to say, mate? Huh?"
Yeah, as soon as the dwarf walks up and looks at him, I stand up. My full 8'1" massive form.
While
I look
he's
down at
standing
the
up,
dwarf.
all I'm doing is just knocking back that drink.
And I look back at the dwarf. What if he does have something to say, you short little fuck?
"I don't appreciate, whatever size you are, talking to me like that. You have no idea who you're talking to. You better watch yourself, or it looks like you might have a wee bit of an accident.
Okay.
And in this establishment."
Tell you
And-
what, little.
I'm gonna actually this time I'm been quiet the whole time, but I'm gonna stand, not even moving. I'm just gonna lean down to where he's at, about ear level, and I said, "No, you have no idea who you're dealing with. I suggest, unless you want the other side of your face to match the runes, unless you want us to carve runes on the other side of your face, I suggest you take your friends, go to the bar, have fun, have a drink, and go about your business."
Yeah, and while as he's saying that, I with my empty hand, after knocking back this drink, I sort of scraggle his hair at the top of his head. I go, "Know your onions, little man," and then I sort of haphazardly climb up on top of the table, start pouring another drink, raise up the glass once again, "To the Alliance!" and start knocking that one back.
And everyone follows suit. As you're cheering everyone, the dwarf pulls out a rather sizable warhammer and says, "Right. Okay. Looks like we're going to do it your way. And if you want to do it this way, we're the ones who are going to walk away. You will be carried out." And as he kind of says that, you start to see the other dwarves kind of circling around behind him, each starting to pull weapons. The elf Malno is kind of running in and kind of like trying to like calm it down, but mostly what he's doing is just like everyone's kind of pushing back to the back end of the club, because they know exactly what's going to happen. And roll initiative.
Oh yeah. Ooh, not bad.
And if you could just put it in the chat, please. Thank you, Nelson.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead of you.
How the hell does that work?
How I have never seen someone rolling three individuals rolling the exact same number.
It's because
we're
we're in
that
the same
good of
unit.
We're that good of friends.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. In a scenario like this, let's start with let's just go down the line. Nelson, Mike, Josh, and then the dwarves. Actually,
What is the table and floors made of exactly?
they're made of wood. Yeah, they're wooden tables, wooden chairs with just standard upholstery, like feathered upholstery.
All right. Crap. I want to actually break the what you call prohibition.
Oh yeah.
But give me a second. Yeah, why not? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kneel down, put the glass down, grab my hat, and dust my hat off. I go, would you look at this? Just a little bit of dust. And as I'm smacking my hat, dust is starting to billow forward and spiraling around the feet of the dwarf. And I'm casting Dust Devil. And after doing so, I just sort of, wobbly, just a little bit wobbly from drinking so much, then put my hand, put my hat back on and sort of secure it. It's not quite correctly, but I do, and and then move the Dust Devil to the dwarf, and the spell save DC is 12. Just give me a second, because this is not a spell I'm familiar with, actually.
Thank goodness, because it's not what I'm familiar with either. So this will end up working out for both of us.
Okay, beautiful. What I do is that in an unoccupied square, I create a cube of air that I can see within range, the elemental force that resembles a dust devil. So the little mini hurricanes that you would notice,
Yeah.
appears and lasts for as long as I can concentrate, up to a minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the dust devil must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes D8 bludgeoning damage and is pushed 10 feet away. So it's a DC 12 strength save.
Okay. Well, he definitely didn't make it.
All right.
Nice.
So he only takes 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but he's sort of shunted 10 feet away. Let me just see if he's not prone.
Sure.
No, he's not knocked prone, but I sort of with my 2 open hands now, almost in a shooing fashion, like dismissively shooing him away. But what I'm actually doing is taking my bonus action to push the Dust Devil right up on top of him again.
Nice. Awesome. Okay. Mike.
Okay.
What is Gyrus doing?
Well, the first thing is once he realized what was happening, he stood up and pulled out the machetes. He had one on each end of his waist, so he had one in each hand. And he's going to go to the. How far away is the closest one to him? Sorry about that. I live by a train track, so.
It's all good. The closest one is about 10 feet away, so you can easily, actually, pretty much all of them are about 10, 15 feet away, so you could easily move up to any one and just have at her.
That's fine, because I have a speed of 35, so I'm good.
Sweet.
Oh, okay, I'm going to use, go up to the closest one 10 feet away, and I'm going to take a swing with each one of my machetes.
Okay. Go for it.
And not even close with the first swing. A grand total of 6.
Not quite.
That might be a bit better. The second swing was with a total of 15.
Okay, 15 definitely hits.
Okay, so he's right-handed, so the right-handed swing that would have been the one that missed, but then he came by and hit with the second one, so that would be a D6, and then it adds the ability modifier, so I would add my dexterity modifier on top of that, right?
Yes, because you have the two weapon fighting.
He did a grand total of 7 with the second swing.
Nice. Well, why don't you tell us what it looks like?
Okay, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up, and this was the guy that came up to the table and was talking to us. I said, I told you if you didn't leave, I was going to make sure you had matching runes on the other side of your face, and I whiffed with the first one. And then when I came by with the second one, I lashed a big gash across the bare side of his face that didn't have any runes. And I said, there, now you match.
Nice. All right. Josh.
Okay. As they're doing this, he's gonna kind of growl, fucking blue-nosed dwarves, and he's bringing his fucking hand up. And inside his hand suddenly just appears this, black, almost ebony-steeled revolver. With the cylinder actually looks like skulls that are glowing. And it's got this, the handle actually has a horn coming off the end of it, and a chain falling down off the horn, and there's like a couple of chains coming off the barrels. And he's going to aim at the nearest one of the dwarves and fire.
Fire away.
And that will be 16, 17, 18, 19 to hit.
Yeah, that is. And roll your damage, and then...
That's what I'm doing now. That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage.
Cool. That is really painful. This dwarf is definitely all kinds of hurting. So, as soon as you pull the trigger, it's almost as if time stops. The dwarves kind of just stare at seeing his buddy shot, hit real bad through the armor. It almost punctures straight through his clavicle, he's down. And though the sound of the gun was deafening, the sound of the silence that followed was equally as deafening. As 200 people behind you, as you can hear them gasp, and then begin to run for the exit, which you happen to be standing in between. So the dwarves, so from now on, when you start your turn, you're going to have to make an athletics check, or you'll get hit and possibly knocked prone as 200 people are trying to exit out of one door. So the dwarves, all of a sudden, it's like they're like a deer in the headlights as they're staring at you, but they're really staring at the throng of people just coming towards them. And a lot of them have maces and hammers and other such bludgeoning weapons, and they're trying to attack you, but they're getting caught up in the throng of people and getting pushed back. One of them even gets trampled as people are just running, scared out of the club. And unfortunately, one of them is hurt real bad.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. Your mighty heart is breaking.
I know, right?
So I'm just going to adjust that. And one of them, who is at least able to, grabs his mace, sees an opportunity, just as you pull the trigger, he kind of sees an opportunity that your mind is focused on something else, Eagle Eye, and he strikes at you with his mace, and I believe a 21 is going to hit you. and he strikes off, like just connects completely onto your forearm and just strikes it like hard and true for 10 points of damage. And you can just feel your bones like just kind of like vibrate off this hard hit. So another one of the dwarves comes running up, and he's going to try. He has a warhammer in his hand as well, and he's going to try and strike out at your character, Gyrus.
Okay.
And just as he's about to swing, just coming in with his warhammer, and all of a sudden, a person kind of gets in his way, and trying to stop from hitting an innocent person, he just kind of shoots back, but is caught off guard. And we're gonna bring it back to Nelson.
Did any of those dwarves end within 5 feet of the Dust Devil?
Yeah, the older fella, he is still like on the ground. He's trying to shield away from this thing.
But any of the other two, they just
yeah, from the ones that are left, one of them's within 10. You said within 5, right?
it occupies a 5-foot cube, so it occupies a space, and anyone within 5 feet of that cube. So it's basically like a combatant that if you're if you end engaged with the quote unquote combatant, you have to make the DC 12 strength save.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's just the one that's kind of caught up with the devil, and I will make a strength save. So he manages to kind of push all the dust and everything else out of the way, and kind of kick it out, kick it away.
So he'll only take 3.
Right on.
Unless we're rounding up.
Yeah, sure. Let's round up.
Oh, cool. So then I'll take 4. Yeah, I rolled a 7 on the die. And there's 2 next to my allies, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, is the space between the 2? If there is conceivably a space that I could move the Dust Devil between those 2 without engaging my allies, I will.
Yeah, they're about. I mean, everyone's a little spread out, and people are still trying to vacate the place. So I mean, there's like a lot of civilians kind of running to try and get out of the from the gunfire. Like they're all spooked, so they're just kind of trying to run out.
Oh no, but with the gunfire, it's almost like a flashback, you know, hearing the thunderous gunfire, watching his allies just be swung at, the fresh sort of smell of blood in the air now. Just fighting back a savage nature, just takes off his hat, throws it down onto the table, and in doing so, moves the Dust Devil towards the other combatants. And one thing I would like to try, instead of damage, I would actually like to try to disarm one of the enemies with a Thorn Whip. So it's like as he throws down his hat, his hand and his fingers sort of expand and separate into several thorny vines. And he'll whip it back and shoot it at one of the dwarves.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, I rolled a 10, so I get a 14 total.
Okay.
Unless I attack with advantage for being on higher ground, because I'm on the table.
Yes, actually, yeah, please do that.
That's awesome. So that's only 3 higher, 13, so 14, 17 total.
Yeah, oh, definitely, and that definitely is enough. Almost as the dwarf who was, whichever one you wanted to aim for, as the dwarf.
Whichever one that was engaged with Tully.
Okay, so that would be the one with the mace. So he struck him once, he came back, and just as he was coming back, he went to go try and strike Tully again, and he just came back with air. And he's kind of looking around.
Can I have the mason in that hand as the vines retreat?
In your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. So he'll snatch the mace, and as it's pulled back by the thorny vines, it goes right into his hand. As his hand seems to reform, he'll get drawn back a little bit by the momentum.
Oh,
And he's like,
sweet.
"This is an alliance party, boys."
Nice. I like it. Okay, so next up, Mike.
Okay, now the one that swung at me, was that the same one that I carved a chunk out of his face?
No, this was a different. This is a different one.
Okay, that one's been taken care of.
He's pretty much on the ground. He's all 6 kinds of hurt.
Okay.
Just a quick. I'll even give you a quick, basically kind of a quick rundown. This quick
Okay.
scenario. So there are people moving like all around you. It's like water. Like this. It's just a sea of people running around you like water, trying to escape out of like one single door in front of you. One dwarf is basically being used as a floor mat and being run over by like at least 80 or 90 people. So, fact is, I don't think he's coming to play anymore. There's one who got bumped by a few people. He's kind of in a world of hurt. And then there's 2 more. One that just lost his mace to a really well shot thorn whip. And with the one with the warhammer that is just trying to strike you. So he's the one that's like directly in front of you.
Okay. Now since I'm dual wielding the machetes, can I have one on 2 different people?
Oh, you mean like 2 separate attacks?
Yeah, I was gonna do like a dual wield machete, but instead of having both machetes attack one person, I wanted to have one attack the guy that I already carved that's on the ground, and then use the other one on the guy that's got the warhammer.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So then make just 2 separate attacks.
Okay, the first swing is going to be on the guy that's on the ground that I already damaged. That would be a 12.
Doesn't quite hit.
Okay, and then I'm going to go for the guy with the warhammer. That is a 12 as well. I'm consistent.
Unfortunately, you just weren't able to like hit past. Like even though they're wearing dusters, they definitely have strong armor underneath.
Okay.
So you're just not quite able to penetrate their armor.
Okay.
Question: as the dust devil is spinning and kicking up all this wind, do their dusters sort of lift up off the floor, exposing what they're wearing, or just create chaos? I don't know. I'm just picturing
just like the Matrix. Yes. So yeah, you could definitely see that they're wearing like some kind of like a hardened studded leather armor. They're pretty beefy, but they're still wearing like basically a bit more avant-garde clothing.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I can do this round, so I am going to... Yeah, I'll go ahead and stay where I'm at.
Okay, cool. All right, Eagle Eye.
Okay. Is there any way I can have advantage just for being higher than everybody else? I'm like 8'1" here.
That would be a little much.
Yeah, I'm joking. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my pistol to aim at this one that struck me, and I'm within 5 feet, so I'm rolling at disadvantage.
Okay.
And that is still a 15 to hit. So.
Oh, nice. Well, that you just make it.
So it shoots him with this. He turns this like evil, demonic-looking pistol at this guy, aiming right in his face, and fires. And it is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of damage.
Holy crap!
Sorry, you said 14?
Yeah.
Thank you. Why don't you describe how you finish this guy off, because that'll do him.
He just turns to look at this guy and basically puts the muzzle of this demonic-looking revolver right in his fucking nose and pulls the trigger, and you just see the back of his head just explode as bits of bone and gray matter and blood just pour out over the floor behind him.
Or do they pour out into the dust devil behind him and start swirling around?
Yeah, that would be hilarious. We'll do that.
Creating a red mist of a little tornado in between everyone.
Oh, goodness.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, those poor bastards. They're going to have a lot to clean up. All right. Upon seeing his buddy's head get turned into the consistency of Jell-O, the one dwarf who seemed to be the voice, or at least somewhat the leader, he's just livid. He's furious, and he grabs his warhammer and he stares daggers at Ziggy, and he just runs, and he just basically comes with the warhammer, and he's gonna just like come like up at your leg since you're standing on top of the table.
Does
just
he
trying
run
to take
through the dust devil?
Yeah, he runs through the dust devil, which he will roll his strength. And what was the?
It's only 12. The DC is only 12.
Yeah, he's just livid. He's completely and utterly raging, and he runs just almost.
If he makes it, he'll take 2 points of damage.
Okay. He shrugs off any kind of like flying chips of skull that have like slash into his face and slash into his hands. He just wants you dead. And he comes running. And I'm assuming that a 12...
Yeah, hits.
Okay, because I thought that sided with the player when you tied up. But that was my bad. So yeah, so he just comes in, hits you with the leg. And you get you just feel the side of your thigh kind of like cave right in as he just hits you for 8 damage, just like strikes it straight on the thigh.
Ah!
The one nearest to Gyrus or Gyrus, whichever one you prefer. He's going to again grab his warhammer, kind of swings it around, kind of in a whirlwind, and then just using the momentum of the warhammer, just comes up to strike you square in the side. And it looks like he's got something going when all of a sudden his aim is a little too low, and he actually strikes a table, splintering it, but completely missing you entirely.
Ta-da!
Yes, indeed. And finally, of the ones that are left, the one with the mace, or well, the one without the mace now, grabs his revolver and basically runs up, tries to shoot, but kind of aims. The dust devil's still swirling, is kind of getting in his eyes, so he's trying to aims, pulls the trigger, and unfortunately a cello in the bandstand was lost this day. There were many upset jazz people. And yeah, so next up, Nelson.
So the one that charged me, and did anyone of those remaining dwarves end their turns within 5 feet of the dust devil?
No, they've kind of moved away from him, or from it, to keep it from hurting them anymore. They kind of realized that we really shouldn't stand next to this thing.
Cool. Now you said they were wearing studded leather armor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What Ziggy will do, the one that just hit him, he starts to just furrow his brow and grip this mace. If it wasn't for the noise of the stampeding people trying to exit this place, you would actually hear his flesh crickle and crack and rub against the mace. He'll reach into the breast pocket of his suit, He'll pull out a lighter and stare directly into the eyes of the dwarf that just attacked him, smile, flick the lighter open and just blow on the flame gently, and as he does so, the metal studs on his leather armor begin to warm and heat and glow red as he casts heat metal on that dwarf. So
and that is how you do the spell. All of a sudden, he starts to like pat himself, but as he's patting himself, it's just getting hotter and hotter. And I'm guessing like you can't resist a spell like that. It's just would be just damage.
Well, he has to resist. Like if it was an item, he'd have to roll a save to see if he can keep a hold of it.
Make a con save
to see if he can keep a hold of it. But he can get rid of it voluntarily. However, he's wearing it, so he can't get rid of it voluntarily.
Okay. So yeah, so I guess it'd be 2d6 damage.
Yep. So he takes 9 points of fire damage. He takes 9 points of fire damage, and almost holding back his transformation. You would see for a split second from the grin, Ziggy's jaw almost unhinge and start to grow a bit, and vibrate and sort of shrink down again. And still staring to the eyes of this dwarf, he goes, "You want to find out what we did to those poor boys in the trenches?" As he's burning.
And all you can smell is like burning dwarf, which may even smell like chicken. I don't know. Never smelled a burning dwarf. And he's just trying to like tear off his armor. Gyrus.
Okay. Since I am currently in battle with the guy that can't swing his own weapon, I'm going to once again do the dual wield with the machetes. First one was a total of 20.
Is that a natural 20?
No, it was a 17, but I have a attack bonus of 3.
Nice, that definitely hits. Roll your damage for that one.
Okay, and this one, with this first strike, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and using the hand, like whatever hand he is that he's using, whether he's right-handed or left-handed, whatever one it is, I'm going to take the machete and I'm going to slice right underneath, like where his armpit is, to kind of make the arm go dead so he has trouble swinging.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is that's going to be a 7 total again for the first swing.
So that, sorry, the first, so 7 damage.
Yes, I rolled a 4 plus with the ability modifier. Because it's a d6. I roll a d6 damage. And then with the second swing, with the offhand, I rolled an 18, so it's a 21 total.
Yeah, that does it.
Okay, and roll for damage. I rolled, once again, 7s. I just rolled 3 7s. I should go to a casino.
You should. And tell me how you finish this guy off.
Okay, so with the first strike, what I did is I went under, with the blade up, went under and slice underneath where his armpit connects with the shoulder, kind of so that his arm goes dead. And I look into the other, as I look into his eyes, I'm going to look at him and say, make sure your friends know that this place is off limits to you and your brethren. And I just take it and I just grind the blade from one end of the carotid to the other, all the way across his throat.
And upon doing that, the remaining 2 dwarves kind of look at each other and they look at the 3 of you, and they kind of like both in a silent agreement, like nod their heads and just like they grab each other. The one burning, who's still like tearing off his armor, and the other one who's been like beaten something fierce by everything, even the crowd and like machete hacks and everything else. Like they're hurt. Both of them are really hurt. And they grab themselves and they just try to bolt out, blend in with the crowd, and take off. Malno, who's been kind of hiding out behind the bar, kind of calmly walks out and looks at the 3 of you. Um, yes, well, thank you for assisting in this matter. However, I don't really feel that I'm quite out of place when did mention no firearms and no magic. I could, of course, stipulated also no magical firearms as well, but neither here nor there. This will require a bit of um, creative explanation to the local law enforcement. But you three seem like you could be useful. Perhaps something we could mutually benefit each other with. I represent an employer. His name is Mr. Alum. And as upon saying the name, kind of looks over at Gyrus. Mr. Alum.
Getting a nod.
Mr. Alum and
Can I interrupt him for a minute?
Yeah.
I'm still standing on top of the table, still with this lit lighter in his hand, and now with a mace. He interrupts Melno, just looks at him and goes, "Still waiting for my fag," and kind of wobbles a little bit as he says that.
Well, there were cigars like all over the table.
Oh, I didn't know that they brought him back yet.
Oh yeah, they brought him back.
Okay, yeah, so he just picks one up and just lights it with the lit lighter.
Yeah. Tully stands, he looks at this dwarf, and just kind of drops the revolver from his hand. And as he lets it go, it just disappears in a puff of red smoke. He goes, "What gun?" And he reaches down and takes one of the cigars.
Yes, well, if with this magical prohibition, so certain things that we have taken for granted, like healing salves and potions, healing magic, have unfortunately been stopped and disallowed. There are many people who require these, who need these, especially in the city of Westwood, some 100 miles away. Perhaps we could assist each other, if possible. If you could get some crates of these health potions to another establishment, much like this one, so we could get them out to the people, hospitals, orphanages, things like that. If you can assist, that would be wonderful. And of course, well, there would be much more money in it than the 5 silver stipend you were getting for risking your lives.
Yeah, at the notion of healing magic and healing potions, Ziggy standing up on the table smoking the cigar. He's like, "Oh yeah," hops off the table, takes 3 large pulls, and then just blows the smoke onto Tully. And as he does so, basically what I'm doing is I'm casting Cure Wounds. And let's see what I end up rolling. I'm actually using first level slot because I don't have anything else. So only 5 hit points as some of this smoke actually crawls into your clothing and armor and stitches a little bit of your injuries together. And it'll tap you on the back with the hand that has the cigar. Grab an empty glass and just pour some more liquor into it.
Cool stuff.
And while he's doing this, I'm actually going to talk to Malno while he's healing. They're healing, and I would be like, well, I believe Mr. Elam would be grateful that before we do agree to this, that if we were to get some sort of boarding and maybe a light meal for the evening, and since obviously we came off the boat with what you see right here, if we were to get some sort of basic supply package to help us out during this journey, I'm sure if he found out, he would be incredibly grateful to you and your establishment.
Well, I can offer you a truck, a driver, and all you have to do is deliver 3 crates of these potions to Westwood. That is all. How you get there is inconsequential to me. However, you will be given an escort, since although you are more than capable of protecting and handling yourselves, well, let's just say I don't quite know you well enough to just leave you on your own with some unfortunately black market contraband. So, if you're willing, I shall feed you. You may rest here, and in the evening we can introduce you to your driver, your truck, and we can send you on your way. If you'd be willing to accept, I can offer you 50 gold each now, and upon your return to Westwood, I can offer you another 100
Each.
each.
With that, Ziggy just says, "No magic." Raises up his glass halfway to the Alliance and starts knocking that one back.
And Malno kind of turns to the other two and, is he going to be all right?
You'll get used to him after a while. He's unique, would be a nice way to say it.
Yes, indeed. He's the most unshaman shaman I think I've ever seen before. And then Malno kind of turns and walks back. There's a couple of bartenders kind of come out of hiding and throw a couple of bottles on the table, and also offer plates of food so you guys can eat and rest up for a bit. And I don't know. I guess we'll just say that you've rested. Is there anything you guys wish to pick up, or anything you kind of feel that you guys would need? Or,
So we're just driving down there and back, right?
yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want. I mean,
As far as we know,
we're just driving down there and back. I mean, that's the original basis of the mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything
Much like-
I need, I can create. So.
Nice. All right. Excuse me. So in the back of the club, in a kind of a small alleyway, just kind of big enough for a motor vehicle, Malno kind of leads you to the back. Hands each one of you a pack of smokes and another cigar, because reasons, and introduces you to the driver and the vehicle with the 3 crates already loaded onto the back. You're actually really quite surprised when you see this vehicle, as you think the truck must be magical, because that's the only thing holding the damn thing together. The body is damn near rusted to crap. The back, the rear fenders are kind of crumpled in. The pickup in the back almost looks like it's just held together with a few bits of string. Like, this thing looks like a piece of junk. The driver beside it doesn't look like he's in any better shape. He's a human. He's about 6 feet tall. For the most part, looks very unremarkable, except for 3 perfect parallel scars that start on one side of his face and go down to the other. And he's kind of nodding. He's kind of smoking a cigarette, kind of not looking at anything in particular. And Malno kind of gestures you over to the driver.
Yeah, I look at this truck and I go, I don't think I'm going to fit in there.
Oh, don't worry. You could fit in the back. It's a lot more spacious than it looks, really.
Whatever you say, Elf. Whatever you say.
And the driver kind of looks at the 3 of you, kind of sizes the 3 of you up and down. Malno, you're joking me, right? But you want these three in this truck going to Westwood? Ugh. All right, we're square after this. All right, you hear me? We're square after this. Malnose just kind of nods his head. All right, here's the thing. I could fit two of you in the back, and maybe one of you in the front if you like.
I'll just hop into the back.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sitting. I must be. I'll sit passenger then. So.
Okay, you're sitting
Yeah,
shoddy.
I'd definitely get in the back.
And as you get in the back, you can almost hear the metal just like protest, and it just kind of starts to dip a little.
So while that's happening, I'm like,
Yes, this.
light up a cigarette.
So the driver, whose name is Malser, hops in the front, kind of starts the truck, and you just hears and this sudden loud explosion from the ass end, just boom, and then the engine just turns over, and it starts to drive slowly away.
Just as a reaction when that boom happens, one of his hands quickly just drops down, and you would see several long tendrils of thorny vines laying up beside him upon the floor as he's shooting his glance left and right, shakes his head, and they just slowly form back up his sleeve into a hand.
Oh, right on. That's sweet. Actually, give yourselves, everyone just give yourselves inspiration, because so far you guys have been like epic.
That's what a D6, right?
No. So inspiration, how that works is that it allows you at some point you can roll with advantage, or actually, we'll just stick with that. So at some point, one of your checks, if you want to make a check or a saving throw, you just say I want to roll with inspiration, and you can re-roll it.
Okay. Can you still use it to remove disadvantage as well?
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. So, the drive down is fairly quiet. You can tell as you're driving out of town or out of the city, you start to see just the rolling hills and just kind of quiet air of the country. Something you're just not quite used to, at least from your past circumstances. You see like plows and horses, like very few cars on the road, for the most part, because cars are just more of a definite luxury item. As you're sitting in the vehicle, kind of Mulser kind of bangs on the back and kind of also turns to you, Gyrus, and he's like, "All right, look, I'm glad you guys are along for the ride. Just you two in the back, just keep an eye out. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of trouble or whatnot. So, I mean, I'm just saying, it would be in our best interest for you lads to keep a sharp eye. So, what do they call you two anyway?" And he just kind of points to you guys in the back.
And you should just call me Ziggy. Everybody does.
Right, fair enough.
These two
How
call
about you,
me
big
Tolly.
man?
These two call me Tolly. Tell you what there, Cake Eater, why don't you just keep this fucking hay burner rolling?
Typical Goliaths. And then he turns to you, and you, Gyrus, and you look familiar.
I'm actually from here. This is my hometown.
Alright. No, but I mean, your face looks familiar.
people do say that. My family is works more in, I guess you would call it, the corporate sector, more into like transporting, import export type situations. So I might have been around their businesses at some point.
And he kind of rolls his eyes a bit. Yeah, yeah, keep your secrets. Well, listen. Yeah, I've got something for you. And he kind of, I was remembering this one time. Me and the lads, we decided to go out for a couple of pints. And so we head to this pub. One pint turns into two, turns into four, turns into blackout. But I wake up the next morning. My wife's got a knife right to me throat. She says, "Oi, you've got lipstick on your collar. You've got a photograph in your wallet, and it's this picture of this halfling, and she's dressed all provocatively." I says, "Well, I don't know what happened. I was drinking." "Don't lie to me. You're dating her, aren't you?" And I said, "Dating her? Oh, come on, sweetheart. I hardly know her." And he just kind of taps you in the taps you there, Gyrus. And I'd like both Tully and Ziggy to make perception checks.
Is it alright? Since I'm driving, but I still want to be alert that I pull out Bertram, which is that's what I name my rifle is Bertram. I already have that out like across my lap. It's not aimed or anything, but I do already have it out and ready just in case I need to do something.
Oh, if you're gonna sit in a truck, I really doubt you could like sling your rifle.
Yeah, good old Bertram. I take care of him well.
I rolled an unsatisfactory roll, so I did use my inspiration.
Okay.
But in using my inspiration, my perception is a total of 17.
Cool.
Mine's a 6.
And I just wanted to ask, we're in the countryside. Is this like a dirt road or?
No, it would definitely be it's a stone road, but not like a cobblestone road. It's a very smooth stone road.
And anywhere near the road, is there like dirt or grass growing,
yeah.
or is it very metropolitan or not?
No, it's you're in the country. There's like sporadic trees, lots of grass.
So one of the things that that Ziggy would have been doing he'd actually unlace the boots he's wearing, take off his socks, and actually walk over to the side of the road where the dirt and grass is, and start digging his toes into the ground.
While the truck was moving?
No. Didn't we stop already or no?
Nope, didn't stop. They're driving. It's 100 miles to Westwood, so it's going to be a little bit.
Oh, okay. So
he's just bullshitting.
In other words, retcon. While passing the countryside, every horse or tree, piece of nature or wildlife that Ziggy will see, he'll just take one of his hands, start stroking a different tattoo on his face.
Nice. But with your excellent perception check, you start to see a little bit of dust in the distance, and it is gaining in size. Basically it's like two clouds. They kind of look like two cloud circles, and they're slowly starting to gain on you.
I'm muted. With noticing that, I'm sort of squint my eyes. Tully. And I point to the distance, pointing out what I saw.
Tully looks at it and says, "What do you see there, orc?" But as he does this, he's holding his hand out, and this this red smoke just kind of congeals into this like massive Tommy gun. And the place where the disc on the Tommy gun is just looks like this wrapped up chain. It doesn't actually look like like a drum. It just looks like a chain that's been wrapped up in a giant circle. And the barrel is kind of long and looks like it has chains like etched into the barrel coming down to the where the actual barrel meets the body of the gun. And the stock actually has, when he forms it, a chain comes off the stock and actually wraps around his torso. And the stock is some kind of blood red kind of wood. And there's even like a chain falling down off the barrel.
That's freaking sweet looking.
Yeah, I want one of them for real.
Yeah, when that happens, Ziggy will also start smacking the back of the truck. Hey, we expecting company on this road.
And the Mulser just kind of like pokes his head out and looks back. No, we're not expecting anything. And as this, you start to see now from the two dust clouds that it's actually two separate cars that are coming towards you, and they're definitely gaining momentum.
Could I I want to do something, but could I roll like an insight check? Are these cars like literally a hauling ass? Are they close to each other? Is there an approximate distance between the two? Like if they're driving in tandem, or do they look like they're drag racing?
They look like they're driving in tandem. They're from the distance. Like, so right now they're probably about 100 feet away, and they're eventually starting to like come up a little bit closer. You can definitely tell that they're not like they're definitely driving towards you with intent and fast and driving up to you.
All right. So what Ziggy will do is he'll crouch and secure himself real low near a crate, and just holding my action. If they continue to get close enough, I'm going to cast a spell, and that spell will be Mold Earth.
Okay. What about you, Tully? What would you be doing?
So they seem to be getting closer and worrying Ziggy a bit. He's actually going to move to one knee in the bed of the truck, and that same kind of red mist just appears all around his body, and it dissipates. His body is just wrapped in chains. Like, it just looks like there's chains wrapped around his arms, over his torso, and down his legs. And that is him casting Armor of Shadows.
So that's sweet.
Ghost Rider.
Sacrilege. Mostly because there's no Nick Cage in it. This is a Nick Cageless game. I'll have that thrown out there. So as they get closer now, they're now probably about 60 feet away. The truck, you could tell, is just protesting under the speed. Like, Mulser's trying to like gun it, and he's trying to kind of just like drive as fast and as straight as he can.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, "Don't stop, regardless of what happens. Keep driving."
Quick question: how wide is the road that we're on?
Oh, it's approximately 12 feet wide.
Cool. When they get to within about 30 feet is when I'm going to cast the spell.
Okay. Excuse me. So, actually, you know what? We might as well roll initiative right now.
Quick question: while they're driving, is there I can look out the back? Is there space in between the two guys in the back of the car, like in the bed? Like, if I wanted to poke good old Bertram out of the back window and shoot between them, can I do that?
It's mostly like the reason why that he was able to knock on the back and talk is because it was just like wooden slats.
Okay.
So if you wanted to like pop out and basically use your bolt action rifle, you'd have to like pop out and kind of lean your body out the back of the truck. You know, you could probably use like the bed kind of as an aim, and then you could fire.
Okay, because that's what I kind of do, is kind of just like, that way I can still shoot while the truck's still moving. Just poke out, shoot them, and go.
Okay.
Oh, natural 20 on the initiative.
Right on. Okay.
So
I'm
it's a
just
total of 23.
okay. So that'll be, and then 18. You had to go last, didn't you, Nelson?
Well, I am actually holding an action. So
So he's actually going to go first.
Yes, that is. Yeah, I guess technically that would.
whenever they do get within the 30 feet, that's when I'll go.
What's their distance about right now from the truck?
So they're about they're about hovering right now around between 60 and 55 feet. They're trying to edge up, but Mulser is just like he's gunning it. So he's gunning it as fast as he can. But these cars are definitely they've got some gusto to them. So they're starting to like creep ahead.
Well, that's fine. I'm still within range without disadvantage with Bertram, so.
Well, I'll actually even ask Mouser if he could let up and just let them close a little bit.
Mulser looks back. Are you daft? You want them to come here?
That's all I respond with. And then I turn away and take up my position again.
Who can argue with that?
Also, as soon as he looks back, he also sees me. Just covered in shade with his massive Tommy gun.
So I guess he kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Hey, I kind of look over at Ziggy. I don't know what you're planning, buddy, but as soon as you give me the word, I'm going to light these fuckers up.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm actually got to run to the restroom really quick. So when they do get within the 30 feet, I'm going to cast Mold Earth, and I can mold a 5-foot cube of earth. So what I'm going to do is mold a ditch in the center of the road, and have that ditch form up as the earth is moved, the stone is moved, into a wedge, a walled wedge that is a slow incline as well. So it's like a half a ramp on either side.
So basically, like, so when if these cars were to hit it, they would just like kind of like Dukes of Hazzard up kind of thing.
Well, sort of Dukes of Hazzard up and away. It's not a ramp.
Oh, okay, like that. Okay.
So it's at the center of the road, leaving only 3.5 feet of clearance from the road to the side of the road, and whatever is on the side of the road. So,
make it to a barrel roll kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, I'm going to flip their cars.
I'll tell you what. Why don't actually, if you gotta run to the can real quick, why don't let's take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be right back so we can leave it on a wicked ass cliffhanger for the all the viewers, and then we'll be right back. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, sounds good. I gotta hit the can too. So.
Excellent.
I have returned. La da da dee da.
Oh.
1920s, best time ever. Best games ever happened here.
See, by you doing that, you just gave me a bright idea to bust out Bertram properly.
Oh, I've got plans for Mold Earth. After this game, Mold Earth may be considered an overpowered cantrip. I've done that for Create Bonfire. Now it's going to be Mold Earth.
Yeah, it's our power. I like to do it with Eldritch Blast whenever I play as a Warlock.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast is pretty, but you know, people already see Eldritch Blast as powerful. It's these other spells.
I can make it go 480 feet.
You can make it go 480 feet?
Yep.
Let's see, I think I can make it actually go further.
Could you do it's 120 as a cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the evocation that doubles that.
Yes.
And then if you take Spell Sniper, all your attack spells get double distance.
Yeah, and you know what's amazing? If you multi-class into Sorcerer, you can extend the spell.
Oh, crap.
So I could make it further than that. Yeah, but the thing is, that's not an actual combat. That's just you killing things at range. You know, so it's ridiculous. But what I'm talking about is spells like I've never taken Mold Earth before. I figured since we're trench warfare, it's a perfect cantrip that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm reading it, I'm like, this is only as powerful as you are creative. This is great. This is absolutely great. I was thinking about casting Heat Metal on the cars, but that expends a spell slot, and we're in a chase scene. We're not stopped. So this is perfect.
I once used Thaumaturgy. I once had the Tiefling Bard in our party use Thaumaturgy, and I was a Dragonborn fighter, and we bypassed an entire battle by scaring the shit out of him.
Yeah, I did that. I had to stop playing a Tiefling Warlock because everybody's plan was, let's just go in and let Nelson mind rape people.
Not only did I scare them, what I did is that they were trappers. Like, okay, this is what I need you to do: cause the tremors, and then raise, because they had the embers up in the fire, raise the fire up, and then I come up and I said, "You are no longer welcome in these woods. Leave now with your lives."
Oh, I was a warlock of the great old ones.
+2.
I spoke to them in their mind.
I rolled an 18 with a +6 to intimidation.
But it looks like we're all back here, so I'm ready when you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start shooting.
Okay, so the first one, Nelson. So far the vehicles are not quite at the area you want them to be. I don't know if you want to.
Well, I'm waiting for when that area closes, and I'm making myself a small target until that happens.
Okay. So basically, okay, so that's you. Gyrus?
Okay, so they haven't hit the ramp yet, right?
Well, the ramp hasn't.
Yeah, the ramp doesn't exist
Okay.
until they get within range of me casting it.
I want to hold action as well, because what I want to do is once the trucks hit the ramp and they're up in the air, I want to take out Bertram, and because I can only shoot one, I'm going to take one of the vehicles, and once it hits the air, it's in the middle of the air, I want to shoot the gas tank underneath the car.
Yes. All of my yes or belong to that maneuver. Okay.
So, I hold turn.
Okay. That you know who that leaves. Next up on the docket, the big man. You're still muted. You're hardwired muted.
Oh yeah, he's not holding an action or doing anything like that. He's just shouldering this Tommy gun. and just aiming down at these two cars and just opening the fuck up. I mean, he's literally doing the whole burst fire.
Okay, so I'm just gonna grab. Whoop. So in a wild spray, you see the rounds like as the truck is bouncing and kind of starting to weave a bit. The like your Tommy gun, you're just spraying, and it just like rounds are like tinging off the cars, and they start swerving a bit, and they drop back and they come a bit forward. You see one round aim true, like just perfect, and you see this the windshield just spider web, and you hear this. Well, you can't really hear it, but you definitely see a bit of blood fleck onto the windshield, and you want to roll for damage on that.
Yeah. That will be 13 points of damage. Oh,
Uh-oh.
instead of round, because it's actually what he's firing are the actual chain links from the spooled up chain that the drum is.
You know what? I hate to say it, but what you said was probably epic. But you literally froze, and then I heard hold, and then. Sorry, could you say that one more time?
Okay, I forgot to say that the barrel of this Tommy gun is actually rectangular. So what he's actually firing is the chain links from the spooled up chain instead of actual bullets.
Oh man! Oh, that's wicked. That's wicked evil. Also, just also keep in mind that your Tommy gun is now down 10 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So the cars swerve. They pull back and they start pulling ahead. All of a sudden, out of one of the cars, peeks one dwarf with his own Tommy gun, which doesn't look nearly as cool as Tully's Tommy gun of badassery, which I believe you can buy on Amazon now. Don't quote me. And he'll also fire a burst. So I should ask Nelson and Josh to roll a dexterity saving throw, DC 15.
Copy that.
Do I get
16,
anything extra for
just
being
over
a small target?
Yes, actually, thank you. Yeah, you please roll with advantage.
Awesome. Probably won't roll better than a 16, but we'll see. Ooh, yeah, I do roll better. I actually 20 on the roll by itself.
Can't argue with that.
So 22 total.
So you definitely dodge out of the way. What about? Oh, sorry, what was your roll, Josh?
16.
Perfect. Okay, so his rounds are spraying wildly as the cars are swerving, and it hits like nothing. I think maybe one round basically just sinks into like the wooden back end of the truck, and that's pretty much that.
Because Tolly doesn't really dodge, so instead it's just where he rolled so high, the armor is so good, and it's just deflecting all these bullets away from him.
That's even better. I like that a whole lot better.
Can I add to that? Would you mind, Josh? For the overall imagery, I'm picturing him just standing up, firing the Tommy gun, covered in these chains, and the bullets spraying back, and the chains coming off of you and flicking them away, like little chain tendrils, and then reforming back onto the armor.
Yes, yes.
Eat your damn heart out, Spawn. All right, and then out of the second one, another dwarf, actually a human this time, appears, and he's holding a hunting rifle, just a sharpshooter rifle, and he's aiming directly at the truck and tries to fire. So all of a sudden, the round, like you just see, like the round just like strikes in, and the whole truck just starts to like swerve to one side as one of the wheels it gets shot out. Malser's doing his best to keep the truck on, but it's definitely starting to swerve and kind of even like slow down a bit as both cars now get within 40 feet of it. So
Still
we're
waiting
gonna
for
go.
that magic 30-foot mark.
Yeah, you're still. Come on, 10 more feet, damn it! So Malser is starting to like get a little panicked. He's like, you lads, would you do me a favor and take them out? And he's trying to drive and he's just trying to like swerve on.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll actually jump off the back of this the thing once it starts swerving. I get up, run back, jump towards the cars to close that last 10 feet to do exactly what I said by using mold earth to form first a ditch to excavate the stone that I need and then stack them as a wedge in the center of the road.
You want to jump onto the cars?
I'm going to jump out of this car.
So okay, so you're not jumping onto the incoming cars.
Well, they're not
You're
close
just-
enough. You said they're about 40 feet away.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring if I jump off the back in the interim of the whole action sequence, I'm just imagining myself closing that distance with them, and then in the middle of that, doing the whole wedge in the middle of the road before landing on the ground and taking whatever damage I have to take just to do this one thing.
Well, I will say, I mean, if you go from a physics standpoint, as the two vehicles are like basically moving, if you run and hop off one and the other one is still driving at a fairly high speed, you're probably going to catch up to it. Like I will definitely allow this roll, even though it's 40 feet, because you have a base speed of what, 35 feet?
30, yeah.
30? Okay. So yeah, I would say if you took a running jump and you leapt, and all of a sudden these cars are coming towards, then I would allow you to jump on the cars to like minimize the damage, or even if you want to like.
Fuck that! I'm barrel rolling these cars. I'm still doing the wedge.
All right, right on. Okay, so make your what do you be, like a jump? No, not jump. Acrobatics or athletics check, and tuck in.
Sure, I would most definitely prefer an acrobatics. Actually,
Yeah,
no.
whichever.
All my stuff is. I got a pretty solid character. Not great, but it's all around solid.
Yeah, make whatever check you need.
But my rolls aren't great, so I get an 11.
Ooh. Okay. So as you kind of like you make one quick run, but like one tiny piece of like the bed of the truck, like a small piece of wood, was just sticking up enough that you almost stumble a bit as you jump off, but you're kind of able to like tuck a bit, but you're still gonna take about 7 falling damage as you kind of hit the ground and
No
kind of
problem.
roll a bit.
No, as long as you know what, I'll actually fall a bit, roll off the back of the truck onto the ground, and then when I hit the ground, using the momentum, just with reckless abandon, slam my hand onto the stoned floor, and as I do, it ripples forward to exactly where I want it, and then, like I said, 5 feet, like a 5-foot pit that shapes up into a 5-foot tall and wide wedge in the center of this road in front of these oncoming vehicles.
And so it just shoots up, and it almost seems like this like crack, as if someone had taken all the steel out of a paved road, and it just almost sinks and ripples up, and like these two wedges come up. The two vehicles have virtually no time to react. One of them is just able to kind of turn at the last minute and shoot past you, even though it's kind of on like 2 wheels on its side. The other one, perfectly timed, as you make this ramp, and the vehicle goes straight up. And I know, Gyrus, you've been hoping for this.
That's
So
the one I want to hit.
That's the one you want.
I'm
You
going to
make
bust
that-
out Bertram, and I'm going to look at the Mouser, the driver,
Yep.
and I'll be like, cover your ears. and I'm gonna take a shot with Bertram right at the gas tank of the one that's in the middle of the air. Oh, that sucks. No, I didn't get. No, it wasn't a critical fail. Thank God.
You can I remind you that you haven't spent your inspiration yet?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I will use my inspiration because I rolled a 6.
Good man.
This is the most epic time to do that.
Oh,
Yes,
that's even worse. I rolled a 3.
Can I possibly give him mine? I don't know.
I tell you what. Just for this, because I really want this to work. I'll tell you what. Sell this to me, Tully. Sell me how you are giving him like severe inspiration. How as soon as Mulser realizes that Ziggy has kind of rolled off the back, he stops, and it's almost like time just slows down. You see the truck kind of stopping, drifting on its side as it's just coming to a break. Gyers kind of hops up, using the hood of the truck as kind of a lean-to, aiming down. The one vehicle kind of on its side, but driving on its 2 side wheels, still going forward, and the other one is just up in the air. Sell me what you say to Mulser to
the first
give
thing
him
he
this.
does is he turns around and he knows the guy needs a clear shot. So you said there are wooden slats screwed into the bed of this truck. He turns around and he just rips off the top 2, making sure he'll have a clear aim of sight. Then he turns at the elf. Take out that goddamn truck with that fucking rifle, or I swear to God I'm going to turn around and rip off your fucking head.
Now, if I were you, I'd feel inspired by that.
Oh, I'm inspired, and I think I shit myself. Okay, come on. I'm even using a different dice, too. Come on. God! I rolled a 7.
Okay, now wait. You rolled a 7.
Plus 5
What about
is 12.
Okay, now I want you to tell me how this bullet travels.
Okay.
And even right down to the spiraling, even dead slow motion.
All right. Thank God I love action movies, because this is what I got in mind. Is that we tell him to stop, because we're taking the whole team with us. So what he's going to do is, because of the tire, because the one tire would be on the driver's side, right? The one that got blown out.
Mm-hmm.
What he's going to do is he's going to stop, and he's going to drift, and he's going to pull the truck around. And I see this happen in slow motion. Is while the truck comes around, the passenger side is the one facing to the car. And while he does it, I'm going to whip it around, aim the rifle. This all happened in slow motion because it looks better in action movies. Pull it around. He pulls the rifle out of the passenger side window, aims, and then just waits for it, sees the gas tank, pulls the trigger, and you just see the slow motion of the bullet as it pierces the gas tank in midair. Oh God, he went mute.
As a round goes straight through, thanks. It digs in, and just this fireball, as the vehicle's going up, the fireball just kicks the ass end of the vehicle and actually flips it, and you see 2 dwarves and a man go flying out, hitting the ground, just ragdolling, and this vehicle just landing on them and turning them to jelly right through off the grass, just landing in a fireball and just boom.
Hey, look, fireworks.
Yeah, and that's how explosions were created and explosives were made in this world.
This is why I like movies.
And so, as you do it, the other car that's on its 2 wheels kind of falls back, and it slams into the back end of your car as it's out of control, and it starts just spinning, just as a top, and just kind of goes, because they're smaller cars, they're not as heavy as this truck. This truck you got is probably about 2 tons. of like steel, where this car is like maybe half a ton. So this car just spins out. It's all messed up. You could see like the smoke and steam coming out of the engine. One dwarf is just kind of hanging out. He's not moving, and you hear some groans in the car.
Yeah, I yell for the driver to stop.
He's already stopped. Like the only reason why the truck kept moving was because a car like just slammed into it. And it just kind of like did a bit of a 360. So the car's now stopped, and the truck that you guys are in have also been like just turned around, but you guys are okay.
Yeah. As soon as the truck stops, Tully, quickly steps up onto the top of the bed and hops out. Once again, shoulders this Tommy gun and just starts walking towards this car with the groaning coming from it. Just opens up into the side of it.
Nice. So let's see. Wow. Okay, so well, these guys don't make it. They definitely don't make it. It just rips into it. All you hear is like links just firing into this thing, ricocheting around, and you see at least one like big plume of red mist shoot out one of the back rear windows. The other one, just nothing. So I mean, like these cars are toast.
So are we still in combat, or is it over?
It's done. I mean, you just turn them into you just chainsaw these guys.
All right. The one from the car that burst into flames and the gentleman that flew out of the car, are any of those gentlemen moving as if they're alive?
No, mostly because bits of them wouldn't be moving.
They're in bits.
They're in bits. They're in bits and red smears. Yeah. So people jelly won't move. I hope.
But it does taste good with peanut butter.
Yeah. Well, boys, should we take care of this?
I kind of look over at Ziggy. I think we just fucking did.
I'm gonna look at the driver. Say, how long is it gonna take you to change the tire?
Malster kind of looks at the three of you and tire. I don't have a spare tire. Look at this thing. So he starts to like try and turn the engine over and just it's chugging. It's trying to turn over, but I mean the truck is just like it's almost on its last legs.
Right.
Steam starts coming out of the engine.
Ziggy is going to do a few things. The first, when he says they don't have a spare tire, again using the whole mold earth. Well, he's going to take one from there, point to the car in which Tully opened up into, and again through like constant usage of mold earth, he's excavating the road and then the dirt underneath the stone in the road, and he then uses it to raise and then lower like a wave the cars and roll them into a giant pit that he's dug, and then bury the bodies and the cars underneath the road, leaving the excavated dirt, scattered about the sides of the road.
Nice. That's brilliant. That's awesome. And,
it's going to take a while because each casting, it lasts an hour, but each casting is only 5 feet at 5 foot cubes at a time.
Oh, jeez.
So it's going to take a little bit, but he can do it.
No, and I think that's totally cool. I mean, it's a good way to kind of give you guys a bit of a rest. Mulser is trying to fix this thing. He's kind of looks at the car wheels, and I don't know. I think maybe I can fix something. We'll see. So he kind of.
The car that we didn't blow up, are any of the tires salvageable?
You'd say that like about one, maybe two. About two of the wheels are salvageable, although they don't. These truck wheels and car wheels, they're not exactly the same. So I mean, some type of jerry rigging you're probably gonna need.
I do have a tinker's kit.
Well, that's handy.
And that'll give me a +2 to any kind of check like that.
All right. Now, in a situation like this, I will say, yeah, okay, I'll let this. I'll let Melser help you,
Okay.
but which means that you don't have to worry about trying to roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
But I'd like to see at least a DC 15 for you to try and
with
fix
the
that.
+2, because it's the Tinker's Kit does give me a proficiency bonus to any kind of related activity. So.
That's cool.
Okay. Oh shit! It fell off the bed. 17 plus the 2, it's a 19.
Yeah, you're able to get a few nuts and bolts together, a few struts from the other vehicles that were not buried in one of the best hiding bodies things I've ever heard of. And you managed to like try and kind of jerry-rig something together. Malser kind of looks at you and says, "Look, I don't know how you're feeling. We could stay in this truck, head down to Westwood. I don't know if you guys want to try another way." And he kind of points in the distance, and there's a small building in the distance. "Look, we could either keep going on the truck, or do you want to try hopping the train, maybe?"
How far do we have?
I'd say another 50 miles, give or take.
50 miles, shit. We've fucking hiked further than that. I say I just push the fucking truck.
We got the truck. We got the goods. I say we get going.
That's a vote. That's a 3. That's a unanimous vote right there.
And then I hop back into the back of the truck, get another cigarette, pop out my lighter.
So
I give Bertram a nice rub for doing such a good job.
Malser kind of nods his head and smiles at the three of you and kind of chuckles to himself, thinking, God, these guys are fucking badasses. Hops into his truck, starts the engine. Finally, after a few starts, again, bang, a definite loud backfire, and truck starts going off. A little ways down the road, you are about to enter the city limits of Westwood. The one road in, you notice that there are several vehicles kind of parked around, and you'll see what looks to be an individual in heavy armor kind of waving your truck to pull over. Malser kind of looks at you, and he kind of starts to slowly move the truck onto the shoulder.
Let's. I'm gonna do a perception check, just to see if I can see if this is like they set this up to like rob the truck or anything.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey.
Yeah.
Or I roll. It's a total roll of 22.
Okay. You could definitely tell that this looks like some kind of a roadblock as like local law enforcement. You can definitely tell that there's at least one paladin kind of standing there, and you can also tell that there's like 2 or 3 more kind of just sitting. A couple of them are smoking cigars. A few of them are just kind of waiting for vehicles to come by. And it seems like yours was probably the like second or third, because they do look like they're very focused. You can also tell that the paladins are definitely not in the mood to dick around. They wear very grim faces. Their armor is like full plate, and All of them have like full plate with kind of like inscribed leaves, like green leaves, kind of inscribed around one of the shoulder pauldrons. The
I just got a quick question. How long would this have taken us? At least an hour?
yeah, would it oh yeah.
Okay, because I want to spend some, well, one hit die at least to heal up.
Yes, of course. Any kind of healing you guys need to do.
So I healed for 8, but I only took 7 damage, so I'm good.
Cool.
I haven't been hit yet, so I'm good.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
No, you're doing a good job right now.
And
But
Yep.
you do realize that I've never changed. Like, I didn't buy anything. I'm still in the old beat up war uniform, civilian version of the war uniform, with the hat. I would have picked the hat back up after falling off or jumping off the truck. You know, I'm a bit dirtier, but
you cannot lose that hat. That hat is a wonderful hat.
Yeah, I kind of just look at the driver. Hey, Cake Eater, you know these bimbos?
Well, law enforcement.
Here, let me talk to him.
Mulcher kind of looks at you, and what do you expect to do?
My family has dealt with these people before. Let me go up there. Let me talk to them. Let me we'll do what we can to make sure this goes through smoothly. So I'm gonna go up to the truck. I'm like, I'm gonna tell the other 2 guys, just make sure there's no other happy horse shit coming out from the sides. I'm gonna go up to one of the paladins in the armor.
Well, you're all sitting in the truck, and I mean the paladin is walking up to you.
Okay.
He walks up to the.
I'll wave him over to my side, to the passenger side of the truck.
Yeah, he ignores you. He just goes straight up to the driver because
Okay.
he's the one who's driving the vehicle.
And,
Evening.
Yes, sir. Myself, my friends and I are on orders from a Mr. Alum to. We're just on a simple supply mission, and we're here on orders and with the grace of Mr. Alum to make sure this goes through smoothly. And I show him the order with the signature and everything.
So paladin kind of looks at the driver, looks at you. I've heard that Alum was running a delivery to you. But I guess maybe you don't know that there's a tax to get in.
Okay,
And
how much would this tax be?
more than you can afford, you pointy-eared bastard.
Oh, okay. At this point, I'm gonna look and say, look, I understand that you've probably been here all day. You're tired. You're dirty. You want to go home and go about your business. I can guarantee that if you let us through with no incident, we will cause no incident, and I will make sure that word does get to Mr. Alum that you were courteous and gracious to us, and I will make sure that you are well taken care of by doing this. And if not, I can also guarantee that if you don't let us come through without incident, you will also be well taken care of, but not in the way that you think you would be.
I start unbuttoning my jacket.
Okay, well, first off, make me, I don't know, you know how to, make me a persuasion check.
Okay. 9.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's great. So, he looks at you and he just kind of stares into you. He kind of motions to the other 2 to check the back, kind of to the back of the truck. The other two go to the back of the truck, and he says, "So, besides your friends, what's in the back?"
It's a bunch of panther piss.
Well, we got a real funny one here. I like this one. He's funny. But maybe I'll talk to the one with brains. And it kind of points at Gyrus. What's in the back? What's in the crates?
Supplies, and that's all I say. Supplies.
Oh,
Fold
supplies.
my jacket on the bed of the back. Take off my hat. Place it neatly on the jacket.
And he kind of, you warm or something? You need to cool off, huh? Orc?
Just getting comfortable. Then he starts unbuttoning the uniform shirt underneath.
Hey, why are you joshing us for, man? Go get yourself a sinker, bimbo.
Look, I'd like to. I would. But come on. I mean, we're doing our job. You got to do your job. We get this. But, look, I don't feel like fighting you three today. I don't. You leave one of those crates, you could be on your way.
And at this point, I'm a little pissed off, and I'm saying, look, you're not doing your job, because if you were doing your job, we wouldn't have got shot at and almost run off the road by 2 cars full of idiots that we did your job, they're taking care of. So I'll tell you what, we keep the crate, we go through, and you keep your jobs.
Roll me an intimidation check for that.
Oh God, this is even worse. I don't even have a bonus to this. Please give me a high one. Please give me a high one. Please give me a high one. 11.
And so he's still staring at your character, Tully. Still stares at Tully. And as he's staring at you, he kind of whips out a revolver and kind of points it directly at Gyrus. And he's looking at Tully and he said, "You know what? I made a mistake. And I feel a fool for that. It turns out I was first dealing with the dumb one. Now I'm dealing with the smart one."
I got my hand on one of my machetes.
Tully's just going to stand up and kind of hop off the back of the truck. And he's going to just stare down at this guy, and now he's trying to intimidate him. Which I'm good at.
Okay.
When he jumps off the truck, you know, the difference in weight just sort of springs him up a little bit. He bounces up a little, then takes off his shirt. Now he only has like the tank top underneath. You can see most of his tattoos. The tattoos on the side of his face branch out into several other tattoos on his right, but on his left he has some Alliance tattoos. The largest being of a division of Alliance soldiers that are front linesmen, that are the very first to push the line during the war, the ones that would brave no man's land the first and either die or jump into the enemy trenches first and foremost above all else. And then he just cracks his neck.
I like that. So actually, as Tully's staring him down, he actually does start to unbutton his uniform. And he doesn't wear a shirt underneath it. So you see this massive lion's head on his chest.
Nice. Do you say anything to the paladin?
No. I'm just using my sheer bulk and the fact that I'm obviously a frontline warrior to...
All right, roll me an intimidation check, but roll it with me with advantage, because that was just badassly.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to do better than that first roll, but I'll go ahead and roll again. And I was right, I didn't do better than the first one, but the first one was 19, so 20, 21, 22.
Okay. So the paladin, he's still got his eyes trained on you, and he's got the revolver pointed directly at Garius's noggin. Mulser is just kind of like, his arms are basically on the roof of the car. He's not doing anything. He's just freaked out. And he kind of looks at you, and he kind of smiles a bit. And you see him uncock his revolver and stick it back into his holster on his plate mail. Which, as an aside, I never ever thought I would ever say that in a game of 5e. Because I mean, how does one have a revolver holster for full-on plate mail? But we're there. So he looks at you, sees like this lion, like just huge lion's head, and just stares up at you. And all right, I'll tell you what. Let's do it like this. Because we could sit here and we could stare at each other. We could start this. One of us is going to walk away. If we're killing 3 paladins, you'd have a whole lot of temple on your ass. So listen, this is what we're thinking. How about we do this? Let us walk away with something. We'll let you walk away with all your crates. No harm, no foul. Maybe 10 gold apiece. We walk away. And you drive away.
That Tully kind of smiles, reaches into his uniform jacket and takes out a small pouch, kind of shakes it, should be about right, and drops it in the guy's hand.
And you just see like one mailed fist just, snatch it up really quick, kind of shakes it. The gods thank you for your service. Gentlemen, if you would be on your way. And he just kind of walks away, and the other 2 paladins kind of quickly hurry to the roadblock, open it up, kind of move it out of the way.
When he starts to walk away, I'd like to pull a fresh cig, light it up, and before really taking a deep puff, just with that hand, motion forward and say, "For the Alliance," and sit back down.
And he kind of just flicks his hand up, just as a whatever, and kind of moves out of the way. And so the wooden partitions kind of get pushed out, and basically you guys keep driving. So as you're driving into the city, you notice that this city definitely kind of got hard hit by the war, in so much that there's just so few people. What should be a city of like 50, 60,000 people, at least the size of it, has been, you see only a few people walking the streets here and there. And you drive back into the alley of the, you back down the alley into this address, into this like, kind of like 2 double steel doors. Mulser hops out and kind of pounds on the door. Door opens up, and it's a couple of humans and another half-orc, and they kind of look out, nod their heads without really saying much, and they start grabbing the crates and lifting them off. You see another elf pop out. Excuse me, a woman, and her name is. She introduces herself as Tierney. Thank you for bringing this to us. This will go a long way to help a lot of people. As she says this, one of the crates, one of the top crates, as the 2 gentlemen are moving it, it shifts to one side as they didn't grab it right, and cracks. And at your feet, Ziggy, one of the bottles, which miraculously doesn't get broken, kind of starts to roll toward you, and it's a spherical, it's kind of a spherical bottle, and it kind of rolls toward you and kind of rests against your foot.
Well, I'll pick it up.
I didn't want to assume, so that was just kind of a thing. So as you pick it up and you look at it, you notice that, and you've seen health potions before, especially from your time on the battlefield, where a lot of soldiers were rationed out 1 or 2 health potions, kind of like a week, just to ensure that they are able to keep on the fight. But as you look at it, you notice that this does not look like a health potion at all, like not even in the least bit. It almost has whereas health potions are usually this kind of rosy kind of color, like a pink kind of color. This one appears to be green, and there's a label on it, and the label says Trickster. Tierney quickly looks at you and attempts to kind of snatch it away from your hand, but you are able to kind of cock your wrist back before she can even grab it.
And I just bare my teeth and growl a bit.
That was good, actually. I was definitely impressed. That's impressive.
I got shivers.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Nelson, the angry Chihuahua, ladies and gentlemen.
Angry Chihuahua was like, oh. That's a different one.
Good talking.
But with that, I'll step back and just not as an attack, of course, but backhand the hand that has this trickster vial into and you said Tyranny is an elf woman, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'll sort of scowl just a bit at Russ and backhand the vial into Tully's chest and hold it there, waiting for him to check it out.
I think you're muted, Josh. I don't know if you're...
Yeah, Tully will take the vial and kind of... He hasn't looked at it yet. He goes, everything Jake there, Ziggy? This elf chick's a choice bit of calico, and that's when he'll look at the vial.
Honestly, I think we're gonna have to try and see if I can get a link to a 1920s wiki. So for all of you people watching at home, you might want to...
Yeah, I posted the link earlier. That's I just put the link in again if you want.
Cool.
I've been trying to be sparse with it, but
I've gone overboard.
Yeah.
Give her. So Tierney kind of like cringes her hand back and says, "That does not belong to you."
Yeah, Tully just looks at her and looks at the vial and says, "This ain't no health potion."
There are health potions. We need to offset the cost of making as many of these health potions as we do. Materials are rare and expensive. We need to augment our profits with other potions.
He just kind of cracks an eyebrow up.
Basically, I'm trying to see. I don't appreciate being lied to, and how shifty is her statement, and also, what does the overall situation look like? Like, are we at a disadvantaged position? Knowing the battlefield as well. Are there higher walls? Are there guards on those walls? Are there shadows where people could be hiding, motion, and seeing also the truth in her words and whether or not anything she might say might be a trigger word.
Gotcha. Roll me an insight check.
As he's doing this, Tolly's looking at her, and he kind of uncorks the bottle and sniffs it a little bit. Sure ain't no giggle water in this. I think you're trying to sell me some bourgeois.
You can, and the smell, like as you inhale the scent, you get this kind of a scent of like almost like a lemongrass, but and something else, like almost like if you've ever tried to like when you like smell champagne and you almost feel that effervescence in your nose. You get that kind of like an effervescent feeling as you smell it, even though there's no actual bubbles in it.
Yeah, I curse the fact that I spent my inspiration, as I only get a total of 6.
Okay, so as far as you can tell, she's telling the truth, but you feel like she's kind of omitting something. But
I've been standing silent the whole time because things. I'm going to do an insight check as well, just to tell, because even though I kind of know what's going on, I don't want to. I got a 16.
okay, so you definitely tell that she's leaving something out. There's truth in her words, but it's not 100%.
So I'm going to walk over to her gently. I'm going to walk up and say, look, I'm going to speak real soft with her. I'm going to be gentle to her. It's like, look, we went through all kinds of stuff to bring this here, and we're not looking to cause trouble. We're not looking for extra money. We're not looking to take your stuff. All we want to know is what's in the bottles and what you need it for. That's whatever you say does not leave this room, because this seems like that we were carrying a little bit more than we were originally asked to, and all we want is just a little honesty between you, because you've done so well in helping us before, and I'm sure that Mr. Aylin will be more than happy to know that you helped us out any way we can. So all we ask is you be 100% honest with us.
And at the mention of Mr. Alim's, sorry?
Go ahead.
See, at the mention of Mr. Alim's name, she kind of twinges a bit. And I would say roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. 15
Okay.
total.
So she looks at the three of you. The two humans and a half-orc that were kind of standing there were kind of like starting to like bristle up a bit, just in case things went south. And she kind of just waves her hand and gets them to kind of move the one crate in at least. As you're standing in the alleyway, even Mulser just kind of like shakes his head, pulls out a smoke, lights it, and kind of walks around the corner, kind of keeping watch. When magic was prohibited, we, the family, lost out on quite a bit of business. We believe that magic is a vital part of this world, and many people agree. However, most, well, not most, I guess many humans are under the firm belief that magic is divine and should only be used in divine. You've been in the war. You've seen what has happened to the land around it. Decimated, destroyed, people destroyed, lives taken in the blink of an eye. These people coming back, they have power, they are powerful, but they are just people, and these people can be lured to a darker way. This is why it was agreed upon that magic users would be stymied or face severe consequences. Having said that, our employees, mostly an individual who makes all of these potions, known as the alchemist, He believes the opposite. He believes that a saturation of magic, those that don't understand it, could be made to understand it by being able to come to a location like this, purchase a potion, drink it, and be able to perform some of these tricks that other people cannot perform. When they have an understanding, then the fear is lessened.
I cap the bottle, look at it, look at her. Say, tell you what, let's not make this a thing. How about you just give us a little Mazuma, and why don't you give me a bit of a cash, and I'll hand it to her. Cash means kiss, by the way.
Yeah, I remember.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're terrible.
She smiles and says, "Let me write you a check instead."
Wow.
And she hands a very large, kind of almost like a briefcase, but slightly smaller, and it's quite heavy. Opening it up, you see that there is 500 gold instead of the 3. She looks at the 3 of you and says, "I know it seems that you have broken the law, but truthfully, these health potions will go to a lot of sick and injured people. The Dwarven unified clans, the version of organized businessmen, they are not above extortion and even to a point of kidnapping and other things. We do sell contraband goods. We deal with contraband goods. But we want to try and give back. And today, the 3 of you have truly helped me give back. And for that, you've made a lot of people here quite happy. Thank you."
And then I'm going to look at her once more, speaking in the same tone that I did earlier. And I look at her and go, sometimes you don't have to follow the law to help people.
And she kind of smiles and nods.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Now I was gonna say after he said that, just sort of staring directly into her eyes, brow still furrowed and teeth still born. Ziggy says, "You know, we buried more than one blue nose along the way. Appreciate that fact." And he'll just turn around and walk back to the truck.
She is left a little stunned by what you said, and kind of backing up. She turns to kind of get the rest of the crates inside, and I actually think we'll end there. But before we end off, I would kind of like to have, well, 2 things, because I'm a greedy bastard that way. One, I was wondering if maybe if you 3 could kind of join me in the hangout for some kind of Roses and Thorns, something that Chris Wilhelm from Drop Dice, if you guys are, whoever's watching, if you're not a subscriber to Drop Dice, as well as these gentlemen's channels, I highly suggest you have a look at that. If you join me for Roses and Thorns, just to kind of help me improve myself so I can get better at the game, that would be great. And before we sign off, why don't you guys tell me what happens to your characters after you guys were in the city of Westwood? And we'll start with Nelson.
I was totally unprepared for this after overwhelmed. Now, basically, Ziggs definitely with this prohibition against magic and spells and fantastic abilities, a prohibition against mostly what and who he is. Uh, he can't rock with that. He can't roll with that. He can't stand that. So he does stay in the shadows. Never escaping the Great War, just migrating. Same skills, same tactics, just different enemies, and he just carries on in that fashion.
Oh, that is so awesome. I didn't catch you that off guard. She came up with some pretty sweet stuff there. All right, how about you? What is Tully doing?
Tully, after this, being that he is a warlock, being that he is magical, being that magic is part of the very nature of who he is. I mean, he wouldn't even have weapons if it wasn't for magic. I mean, he doesn't actually know how to use a gun. That's the weird thing about it. He only knows how to use a gun when he calls one up. And the fact that, this prohibition on magic is just like trying to grind the very foundation of what he is and who he is. He probably actually would join the kind of resistance movement and help them out as the hired muscle that he is, as a very scary Goliath that he is. And would be doing the same thing he did in the war, fighting the good fight, same tactics, different enemies, just like Nelson's character.
That's sweet. And of course, last but not least, Gary.
Basically, what he would do is more or less the exact same thing his compatriots are doing. He would kind of stay in the underground, kind of like he knows that a pure prohibition on magic isn't going to make it go away. But what he's going to do, because obviously he's seen the good that magic can do, obviously. So he's going to stay, and he's going to use the connections that he has that basically no one else in the underground has to, I don't want to call it more of a Robin Hood, but like he said earlier, sometimes you have to bend or break the law to do good. So he's going to do what he can to make sure the right people get what they need, and then the wrong people get what they deserve.
That's a really, really awesome way to end that off, and I think that's really well said. Very well said. Well, this is the very first video of Mike the Piper, me's channel, and I thought I could think of no better way to start my channel off on the right foot than by having a game with these three fine gentlemen. I had a lot of fun. These guys kicked the crap out of what I threw at them, like a chainsaw through butter. It was great. So I'll just take a moment now to let these great guys sign off. Starting from my left, Nelson, do you just like to any parting words?
Yeah, once again, my name is Nelson. I have the YouTube channel Infinite Roleplay, as well as the Facebook group. You can find me on Twitter, 8 Roleplay. That's the number 8, since it looks the most like the infinity sign. Roleplay at Twitter. And you can check me out at Infinite Roleplay at Drive-Thru RPG. I have a collection of generic world maps for you to use under a pay-what-you-like sales thing. So if you want to support me, and if you just want to get some free maps, they're there for you.
Right on. Thanks, Nelson. Josh?
Once again, guys, I am Josh, the Smoking RP Gamer. I am a very angry person, and I post angry, basically rage videos, or me bullshitting, or me telling angry jokes on my YouTube channel, the Smoking RP Gamer. And, as always, check out the Oneshot Tabletop RPG group on Facebook. That is where I met all of these fuckers, and they are some good people to game with. So, as always, man, may you never roll a critical fail and get in some games. Join the fucking group. I will fucking find you if you don't. And, as the guy from Nerdarchy says, have some fun, roll some funny shaped dice.
How do you even go after that? But Mike's gonna try anyway. Mike.
Once again, just like earlier, I just shit myself for the second time. What I'm going to do, actually, look for me on Facebook. I got Twitter, Instagram. Instagram's under Mikey Spaz. Snapchat's under Mikey Spaz. Either if it's Mikey Spaz with 2 Z's or Xander Invictus, you're going to find me Facebook, Twitter, all that happy horse shit that we all have to have. And then actually, I am working. Actually, the best way right now is to follow me on those and on here. We're working on, me and some other people are working. Hopefully by the end of the month, I will be having my own podcast. I like to think of myself as a nerd of all trades, comic books, movies, all that happiness. And basically, we're working on a podcast where we get to talk about those sort of things, the good and the bad stuff about it. And so if you follow me on social media, I will be sure to let you know when that comes out. So hopefully by the end of the month. So give that a listen as well when that hops out.
Awesome. Thanks, man. So, to all of you watching, to all of you who may watch this in the future, I say to you, have an awesome time, happy gaming, and check out the Oneshot if you haven't already. Later, guys.